The internet. A lot of places are just down. I saw this when I was in the process of going to sleep at that very very late or early time. People are like, all these like stock places are down. A bunch of websites are down. They're all from the Amazon web server thingy, and I'm just like, man, don't monopolies suck? Like
Yeah.
we have all these different types of sites that use one server, and it shouldn't be that fucking way. I mean, if any reason to not have monopolies, it's for the if something goes wrong, we need a backup.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what does Rumble have their own cloud service?
I think so.
Who else has their own servers? Because I saw a lot of big name websites down, and I'm gonna go see if I can find. I'm gonna go see if I can find them.
So it's definitely the cloud services, but it's also just the DNS. Like Amazon owns the DNS. So if your DNS goes down, even if the website you're trying to get to is up, you can't get there.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like maybe somebody in the chat has a source on this, or maybe one of you two knows a little better. But like Signal was down. You're saying
Yep.
like stocks were down. Is that just for regional access? Like somebody using a different DNS would still be able to get there? Because me personally, I didn't have Signal go down, but I was asleep at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that could have
I have no
affected
idea.
it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't typically use all these websites because the internet is dead.
Nothing went down for me, so. But
Rebel with No Yell says a bunch of websites in my company net was down today. I had to pen some work for tomorrow. Couldn't pull up billing info or documents with
Interesting.
information for my work's entries. Pain in the rear. So that means that you're on a site that is trying to access files from a different location, and AWS is basically your map to get there, and they were down. You had no map.
I'm trying to. I saw a list of the aggregate of things that were potentially affected by this.
Okay.
I think sometimes people, over dramatize things, but who knows?
and reading the chat, it looks like Gmail's still gave me my pass.
Hey.
Nice. Well, say the word then. Okay. What's my favorite word? Bitch. So I guess supposedly some of these sites are down. I don't think Spotify is down. Let me check.
Spotify wasn't down. I used it earlier today.
So it seems like it might be regionally based. Pokemon. Let me go ask Charlotte
Etsy
Winslow.
worked for me today. Discord worked for me today. YouTube worked for me today.
What is that? Dragon Ball what?
Where?
Dude, somebody's got to collect the last Dragon Balls and make a wish to bring Dragon Ball back.
What do you think would happen? That's an interesting. That maybe I should do that for Nightcap. What would happen if Dragon Balls actually existed? What type of chaotic shit would people wish for? Because some of these, like Donald Trump would be like, I wish for eternal life because I should be around because who else is going to lead the movement?
Yeah.
It'd be chaotic. But a lot of internet sites were down for people in certain regions, not for all regions, but in some regions. And it just really highlights the fact that having just one server to have a bunch of these things on is crazy, and there needs to be more little servers. Can you please stop being a menace?
Never.
Never.
He is the fuzzy terrorist.
You gotta draw a yellow line so that when he crosses it, you can accuse him of violating the treaty.
Yeah, but what if I refuse to feed him and he has to cross it because there's no other way for him to defend himself?
Oh yeah. Oh, that whole situation's hilarious in a sad way. I was looking into that earlier, but we'll get to that one.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. Let's just stay focused on the internet. How do we So Rumble has their Rumble cloud thing, which obviously these big companies aren't going to use because if they were going to use it, they would just advertise on Rumble. He just wants some love. No, he wants food. Decentralize the future. But the problem with things like decentralization or forcing companies to split up or not collaborate with other companies that they're just going to split up into, there has to be some level of enforcement on that. And then when I start thinking about that level of enforcement, I think China. I think the way China has it where they have government officials in all these companies, and it can't be government officials because I know what happens when you give the government too much power. So really, what it comes down to at the end of the day is the human beings that run us need to be less amoral. So it almost really doesn't matter what system of anything that you have if the humans that run it are pieces of fucking shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's why so many systems were put into place early on in this nation that are no longer really followed. Many are technically still on the book, but many got removed along the way.
To allow pieces of shit to take over. Yep.
Yeah, and it's like incremental, you know what I mean? From the point where we started to one step closer to where we're at, it's not a massive ask necessarily. And then from there, take one small step, that's still a small ask. But from where we started to now, that's nobody would have ever agreed to it. Nobody. If you would actually show them where it was going to go, it never would have happened. But that's why the subversion has to happen in order to get it to go. You got to convince people that the things that they hold dear are not worth holding on to, and it's not as big of a deal, and you shouldn't protect it. And then once you do that, it's easy to nudge them just a little bit further and a little bit further. Look, you've already given up that value and that value and that value. How much of a big deal is this one? And then you wind up with trannies with breast implants flashing their fake titties on the White House lawn.
What did I just come back to?
Corruption.
Subversion of values one step at a time.
Oh man, I have an interesting show I want to do in the future. I think it might be a special show because I'm gonna have to get you and Tyler on it together, and I don't want to say what it is though. It's just gonna be interesting.
Right then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited about doing it because I'm probably gonna lose fans over it. Can't wait.
If you lose some, you'll win others. You know.
Maybe. ZR Goodwin, how you doing, man? The perfect welcome back message. Yeah, I was like, what? Wait a minute.
Maybe silver lining for some people. Apparently, Canvas, that program that most schools are using to do homework and stuff these days, that is also affected by AWS. So you can tell your teacher that AWS ate your homework.